I wasn't invited to my sister's wedding, so instead of sulking, I booked a vacation and watched the whole thing fall apart from paradise. There I was, lounging on a warm, white sand beach in the Bahamas, piña colada in hand, when my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. It wouldn't stop buzzing, non-stop calls and texts coming in rapid fire. My mom, my sister, a bunch of cousins. Even Uncle Frank, who literally never calls anyone, was trying to get through to me. I glanced down at the screen, barely needing to read it to know what it said. Same message, different sender. Where are you? Call me ASAP. This is urgent. I couldn't help but chuckle. Took another slow sip, then tapped the phone to silent mode. They didn't want me involved in Megan's big day. Okay. Message received. I was gone. And while they were knee-deep in chaos, I was soaking up the sun and living my best damn life. But let me rewind a bit. Name's Jake. I'm 32. I've always been the dependable one in the family, you know, the guy everyone leans on when stuff hits the fan. Especially my younger sister, Megan. I'm the one who drove across the country just to help her move into her first place. The one who spotted her rent when she got laid off. The guy who stayed on the phone with her till 3 a.m. after every crappy breakup she went through. So yeah, imagine the punch to the gut when I got this text from her a couple weeks before the wedding. Hey. Just a heads up, the guest list is finalized. We had to make a few tough cuts. Hope you understand. Love you. Tough cuts. I must have read those 2 words 10 times, and they stung worse each time. I wasn't some distant cousin or awkward date. I'm her brother. Her only sibling. The guy who's been in her corner her whole life. And now, apparently, I was expendable, scratched off the list so she could marry Tyler, this finance guy she'd been seeing for a couple of years. I sat there, frozen on my couch, just staring at that message. Couldn't believe what I was reading. A slow wave of disbelief started crawling up my spine. This had to be a mix-up. Some mistake. I called Mom. She picked up after 2 rings, all bubbly and chipper like nothing was wrong. Hi, honey. What's going on? I didn't bother with pleasantries. Mom, I said, straight to the point, I just got a message from Megan saying I'm not invited to the wedding. What the hell is happening? There was a pause, just long enough to tell me what I already feared was true. Oh, sweetheart, my mom sighed, slipping into that voice she always used when she thought I was being overly sensitive. It's just a wedding. Don't turn this into a big deal. Just a wedding. My gut clenched. Heat was building in my chest, this tight, burning knot of anger and disbelief. Mom, I'm her brother. How does that not qualify me for an invite to my own sister's wedding? She clicked her tongue, the same way she used to when I'd fuss over a broken toy as a kid. It's not about you, Jake. They had to keep things small. Weddings cost a fortune these days. I'm sure they figured you wouldn't really mind missing it. Wouldn't mind. I said, my voice barely above a whisper, but trembling with frustration. Mom, I've always shown up for Megan. I helped her move, twice. I covered half her rent when she was between jobs. I was the one who talked her through that awful breakup with Blake. And now what? I'm not worth a seat at her wedding. She let out a groan, clearly out of patience. Oh, don't be so dramatic. It's just one day, Jake. You're blowing this out of proportion. I let out a short, cold laugh, sharp and dry. Right. Overreacting. Of course I was. I could already picture the script. Mom brushing me off like I was being ridiculous. Megan sending some half-hearted, sorry you feel that way, text later. And me? I'd be expected to swallow it, move on, and act like none of it hurt. Like I always do. But not this time. Something inside me flipped. A switch, maybe. If I didn't matter enough to be part of that day, then I wasn't going to pretend like it mattered to me either. I ended the call without another word and opened my laptop. If I wasn't welcome at Megan's wedding, then I was going somewhere I actually wanted to be, somewhere that didn't make me feel like a background character in my own life. Fueled by pure, boiling frustration, I scrolled through travel sites with laser focus. An hour later, it was booked, a full week at a luxury resort in the Bahamas. Oceanfront room, private beach, spa treatments, the full package. I used to tell myself that kind of trip was too much. Too pricey. Too indulgent. But not this time. This wasn't just a vacation. It was a message. By the time Megan's wedding weekend arrived, I was already 30,000 feet in the air, reclined in first class with a glass of champagne in my hand. I snapped a pic, legs stretched out, drink in frame, blue sky out the window. Posted it to Instagram with a simple caption. Didn't make the guest list, somehow I'll manage. The reactions came fast. Likes piling up. Comments lighting up. Cousin Josh dropped a string of laughing emojis. And Aunt Linda, the only family member who actually seems to get me, left a comment that made me smile. You go, Jake. Next time, take me with you. But the absolute best reaction came from my mom. She hit me with a rapid-fire string of texts. Where are you right now? You're seriously skipping your sister's wedding over this? Jake, this is just petty. Petty. Oh, I was just getting warmed up. I fired back with a picture of the Bahamian coast, powdery white sand, that unreal turquoise blue water, palm trees dancing in the wind. Then I powered off my phone. There was no way I was letting them guilt me into feeling bad. Not this time. For once in my life, I was putting me first. And let me tell you, it felt amazing. When I stepped off the plane, that warm, salty breeze wrapped around me like a welcome home hug. It smelled like hibiscus and ocean air. Waiting at the curb. A black SUV, polished to a shine, stocked with ice-cold towels and bottled water in the back seat. I hadn't even reached the resort yet, and it was already better than any wedding I'd ever been to. The place looked like it had been pulled from a luxury travel magazine, an open-air lobby with palm trees stretching toward the sky. Before I could even check in, someone handed me a mango mojito like I was royalty. Now my room. On another level. Massive floor-to-ceiling windows. A private balcony that practically hovered over the ocean. And a king bed so pristine it looked like it belonged in a five-star castle. I walked out onto that balcony, stared out at the endless blue water, and exhaled a breath I'd been holding in for way too long. This was mine. My time. My call. I snapped a shot of the view and posted it with a caption. When one door closes, another opens, ideally to a beachfront suite with bottomless mojitos. I knew someone in my family would see it. I wanted them to. Let them know what it felt like to be on the outside looking in. That first full day. Absolute paradise. I kicked it off with room service, crispy waffles, juicy pineapple, and a cup of coffee so smooth it made every cafe I'd ever been to seem like a joke. Then I just did whatever the hell I felt like. No family tension. No obligations. Just me, the ocean, and a plan that revolved entirely around my own joy. By the time the afternoon rolled around, I was parked by the infinity pool, mojito in hand, watching the surf roll in like it was performing just for me. Every now and then, I'd glance at my phone, not to answer anyone back, but to scroll through the comments rolling in for my posts. Cousin Josh. Bro, where even are you? Aunt Linda. Okay, now you're just flexing. Some guy from college I hadn't talked to in years. Man, next time, count me in. And then, I saw her. A little notification popped up that made me smirk. Megan had watched my story. Well. Now she was paying attention. I could practically see her in that bridal suite, cheap champagne in hand, dress puffed out around her, nervously scrolling Instagram as the pressure of the day mounted, only to stumble across my post. Me, laid back in paradise, completely unbothered. Perfect. I leaned further into my chair, took another long sip of my mojito, and thought. Hope the wedding's everything you wanted, sis. Really. But just as the sun dipped behind the ocean and painted the sky orange and pink, my phone lit up like a Christmas tree. Calls. Texts. Notifications stacking up like rush hour traffic. At first, I figured it was just more people reacting to my posts, more likes, more jealousy. But then I glanced at the names coming through. Mom. Megan. Josh. Even Uncle Frank. Huh. I squinted at the screen, curiosity kicking in, and tapped open the first message from Mom. That one stopped me in my tracks. Call me. It's an emergency. Emergency. At the wedding. I sighed, leaning back again, not sure if I even wanted to care. Then Josh chimed in. Dude. You are not gonna believe what just happened. Now I was listening. As I scrolled through the texts, I couldn't help but grin. Each new message just added fuel to the fire. The universe had clearly decided to hand me a front row seat to the best kind of karma. Megan's picture-perfect fairy tale wedding went up in smoke. Josh spilled the whole thing. It all blew up at the reception. Tyler, the groom everyone thought walked on water, walked out mid-reception. Apparently, he and Megan had gotten into a huge screaming match. Something about her flirting with an ex during the rehearsal dinner. Tyler lost it, said screw this, and bailed, left her crying in her dress, surrounded by cold hors d'oeuvres and horrified guests. And that was just the beginning. Uncle Frank and Dad got into a full-blown shouting match, each blaming the other for the whole disaster. Grandma, bless her soul, started bawling and said the wedding was cursed because I wasn't there. Then the venue staff, probably fearing a riot, shut down the open bar early. It was full-blown chaos. Back in paradise, I stretched out a little more on my lounge chair, took another lazy sip, and kept reading Josh's updates like they were a comedy script. Bro, you seriously dodged a bullet. Mom's losing it. She says this is a family emergency. And then the cherry on top. Megan. Please. Jake, where are you? I need you. Oh, now I mattered. Now I was suddenly the missing puzzle piece in their train wreck. I could almost hear Mom's voice ringing in my head. Jake, fix this. Your sister's devastated. But this time, I wasn't playing the family fixer. Not anymore. I sent Megan one simple message. Sorry, kinda tied up enjoying my overreaction. Hope the wedding turned out great. Then I blocked her number. Blocked Mom's, too. Even cut off Josh, just in case they tried to drag him into their latest guilt-tripping scheme. With that handled, I switched my phone to Do Not Disturb, flagged down the waiter, and ordered myself another drink, right as the family drama started to spiral. Me. I was in paradise. No way was I letting them drag me out of it. The next morning, I woke up to the sound of waves crashing just outside my balcony doors. The air was thick with the scent of salt and blooming tropical flowers. And for a minute, just a beautiful, quiet minute, I forgot all about the chaos back home. Then I made the mistake of checking my phone. Even with most of them blocked, I still had a bunch of missed calls from numbers I didn't recognize. Probably cousins, distant relatives, or maybe even a neighbor being used as a backup contact. A couple voicemails had slipped through. Against my better judgment, I listened to the first one. Mom's voice, tense, panicked. Jake, I don't know what kind of stunt you think you're pulling, but this is not the time for one of your episodes. Your sister is heartbroken. We need you here. This family has to stay united. I rolled my eyes and deleted it on the spot. Then came Megan's message. Her voice cracked and shaky. I don't get why you're doing this. You're my brother. I need you. Please, just call me back. That one. Gone, too. And then, finally, a whisper from Josh, sounding like he was hiding in a coat closet or bathroom somewhere. Dude, Mom and Aunt Linda are planning to ambush you at your apartment when you get back. Just a heads up. Also, Grandma's still convinced the wedding was cursed because you didn't show up. It's kind of amazing. Now that one I saved. I tossed the phone onto the bed, stepped out onto the balcony, and let the morning sun wash over me. The horizon was glowing gold, the ocean sparkling like something out of a painting. Back home, my family was scrambling, trying to stitch together whatever was left of that disaster of a wedding. Meanwhile, I was here, sipping espresso in a bathrobe so soft it felt illegal, basking in what was probably the smartest decision I've ever made. Honestly. It felt poetic. They'd spent years making me feel like an afterthought. And now? Now they were the ones begging for my attention. I took a photo of my breakfast, stack of waffles, sliced mango, a mimosa so beautiful it belonged on a billboard. Then I posted it with a caption. Starting my day stress-free. Wishing everyone back home the best. I scrolled through the blocked messages, grinning at the flood of missed calls like they were fan mail. Then I waved over the server and ordered another mimosa, settling deeper into my lounge chair. Let them stew in their mess. I was officially retired from being the family problem solver. By noon, I was stretched out in a private cabana, sipping a piña colada, sun on my face, ocean breeze in my hair, when my phone buzzed again. This time, it was from my cousin Emily, the only family member I hadn't blocked. Her message popped up. Okay, I know you're mad, and honestly, you have every reason to be, but you have to hear what happened after the wedding. Call me. Seriously, you're gonna love this. Now, Emily's always been one of the few sane voices in our circus of a family, so if she said something was worth hearing, I listened. I hit call, leaned back in my cabana, and watched the ocean sparkle like it was showing off. She picked up on the first ring, practically exploding through the phone. Oh my God, Jake. You're finally answering. Okay, are you sitting down? I looked around, drink in hand, cabana to myself, waves rolling in front of me. Yeah, I said. I think I've got the right setup for story time. Emily laughed, breathless already. So after Tyler bailed, Megan completely lost it. I'm talking full meltdown, screaming at everyone, sobbing like a soap opera star, and, get this, she chucked her bouquet at the maid of honor. I raised an eyebrow, already smirking. Honestly. That checks out. Oh, it gets better, Emily said, barely holding it together. So while people are trying to calm Megan down, Aunt Linda decides to chime in with this gem. You know, none of this would have happened if Jake had been here. He's the only one who can get through to Megan when she starts spinning out. I sat up slightly. Wait, what did she say? Yup, Emily said, laughing. She literally called you the glue that holds this family together. I blinked. The same people who iced me out are now blaming the disaster on me not being there. Oh, you're not even ready, she said. Because then your mom jumped in, calling Linda dramatic. So now the two of them are yelling at each other, in the middle of the reception. Of course they were. And then, Emily paused for effect. Grandma enters the chat. I couldn't help but laugh. She told everyone, and I quote, "This whole wedding was cursed the moment you excluded Jake. He's family, and you treated him like an outsider." I actually laughed out loud. So now the same family who cut me out was blaming me for not swooping in to save the day. Classic. Oh, it gets even better, Emily continued, barely able to keep from laughing. Mom tried calling Tyler's parents to do some damage control. His mom just laughed and said, "Sounds like a you problem now." I had to put my drink down, I was laughing so hard I almost spilled it all over myself. I wiped my eyes and asked, "So, where's Megan in all this?" Emily let out a tired sigh. Still sobbing. Still blaming literally everyone but herself. Last I heard, she was throwing together some desperate vow renewal plan, but yeah, it's not happening. Total disaster. I shook my head and grinned. You know what the best part is? What? I took a slow, dramatic sip of my drink and smiled. I genuinely don't care. Emily broke into full-on laughter. And honestly, I don't blame you. Seriously, enjoy your vacation. You made the right call. We said our goodbyes, and I ended the call feeling more satisfied than I had in years. They wanted a wedding without me. They got a train wreck instead. I lifted my glass toward the sky, gave a little toast to myself, and let the breeze roll across my skin, carrying away every ounce of leftover guilt. The rest of the day. Absolutely perfect. I booked a sunset cruise on a catamaran, dined on a 5-star steak by the water, and let the rest of the world completely fade away. At one point, a small part of me wondered if I should feel even a little sorry for Megan. Then I remembered how easily she'd cut me out, like I was disposable. Yeah. No regrets. I snapped one last photo of the sunset, the sky blazing orange and pink, and posted it with the caption. Zero regrets. Then I powered off my phone again. Let them deal with their own chaos. I wasn't anyone's plan B anymore. The next morning, I woke up feeling lighter than I had in a long, long time. No guilt. No stress. No family drama dragging me down. Just me, the waves, and a day that belonged entirely to me. I ordered room service again, waffles, fresh coffee, and out of curiosity, flipped my phone back on. Huge mistake. Notifications hit me like a tsunami. Mom. You need to stop acting like a child and call me Megan. I can't believe you're doing this. You're being so selfish. Another one from Mom. This isn't funny, Jake. Your sister is heartbroken. Don't you care? Then a text from an unknown number, probably Aunt Linda. We need to fix this family before it's too late. I groaned and rubbed my eyes. Honestly, I had to give it to them. They went from completely ignoring me to expecting me to swoop in and fix everything. Real fast. Then one message caught my eye. It was from Emily. Okay, I know you're ignoring everyone, but you have to read this. Mom's planning a big family meeting the minute you get back. Just a heads up. I laughed out loud. A family meeting. Seriously. They really thought I'd just show up, let them guilt trip me, and act like none of this ever happened. No way in hell. So, I shot Emily a quick reply. Thanks for the warning, but I'm not coming. I'm extending my trip. They wanted me out. Well, I'm out. For good. Emily was quick to respond. Wait, what? That's legendary. Fill me in when you get back, whenever that ends up being. Oh well. I grinned, opened my laptop, and pushed my trip out another whole week. No family drama. No guilt trips. Just me, the ocean, and some long overdue peace. They never gave me that before. And now? There was no taking it away. I sent one last text to Mom and Megan. Oh, now you want me around. Sorry, I'm busy enjoying my overreaction. Good luck cleaning up your mess. Then I blocked their numbers for good. I ordered another piña colada, leaned back in my lounger, and let the warm breeze wash over me. No more calls. No more chaos. No more being the family fixer. For once, I wasn't the one rushing in to fix everyone else's problems. I wasn't the one swallowing all the tension and pretending everything was okay. I wasn't giving up my peace for people who never thought twice about pushing me aside. I was finally living for me. Later that afternoon, I went snorkeling over vibrant coral reefs, swam alongside stingrays, and laughed harder than I had in months. That evening, I booked a massage, then watched the sunset with a glass of wine in hand, toes buried in warm sand. And you know what? Not once did I think about them. Not Megan. Not Mom. Not the mess they wanted me to fix. Just peace. Just quiet. Just me. When the stars came out, sparkling over the ocean, I raised my glass one last time and whispered to no one in particular. To being cut from the guest list. Because sometimes, getting left out is the best invitation life can send your way.